when you look at the NBA standings, do you find it to be something the NBA probably hates when you look at the bottom of the West and you realize that, man, that's where the excitement is. And a couple of these teams are going to be out come the play-in. And, you know, the emphasis on the postseason always trumps the regular season in the NBA. But when you see the fact that the Suns, Lakers, and Golden State currently are 3 of the 4 teams that are in the play-in, and at the top of the West...
You left out the Kings just to upset Nick Cope.
Oh, I know. He's upset, yeah. He's a big Kings guy.
They're 8th in the West.
But you know what? Even last year, light the beam. People were in on the Kings, right? So the fact that you got the Suns, Kings, Lakers, and Golden State in the play-in series, as of now, I got like Minnesota and OKC and Denver, who will likely repeat, let's be honest, or you know, have a good chance at it. Is the top of the West boring compared to the bottom of the West as far as marquee names?
I don't think there's any question what the networks want and what the casual fans want to see. Is it good for basketball to have the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and OKC, the Clippers, all of them up top? I mean, it's good for these smaller market teams. I don't think anyone else is excited about that, though.
Well, I'll push back just a little bit. The Timberwolves have been a lot of fun to watch this season, especially Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, yes, I agree. I'm just saying
tied
that
for first with the Nuggets. It's good ratings-wise, Rich. You're right.
What
a big game tonight between the two of them at the top, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But, you know, let's take it back to the hot topic over the last week, just for 10 seconds. What was the narrative with, man, women's sports, collegiate, will it translate to the WNBA? It's all based on the names. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. I mean, take away those names.
We're appeasing boneheads, though. That's the truth.
No,
I mean,
get
you want to
it.
see good basketball or you want to see marquee names. And that's really the problem with everything. You know, how many people get excited about Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, just because it's 2 names you're excited about? Meanwhile, there's great fights every weekend. I keep saying, well, what about Munguia Canelo on May 4th? What about Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia? They're fighting... You know, on 420.
You're on drugs. You're on Mike Tyson's edible ears if you think that more people care about Canelo Munguia.
More people are going to care about the heavyweights or the big names or the sexy headline, which is Mike Tyson's fighting Jake Paul. And that's you or that's us expecting or caring more about these bigger market teams when clearly these other teams are playing better basketball. But I'm with you. Yeah, there's nothing sexy about it.
Well, Danny, let me ask you.
Even though, hold on. Actually, Danny G brings up a good point. If you think there's nothing sexy about the Timberwolves and the Nuggets, how about you tune in tonight and see for yourself, maybe I should be more excited about it.
Man, you really think Anthony Edwards is sexy, huh?
Yeah, but they're tied for first, right?
Timberwolves actually own the tiebreaker because they've beaten the Nuggets this season.
Timberwolves have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
They got no Karl Anthony Towns. Anthony Edwards leaning on him.
And imagine them when Cat comes back.
So maybe now is the time you do get invested so you don't feel like the schlub that needs the Warriors and Lakers in there, and you could see the future matchup here.
I get it. Listen, the
Today's
question...
a perfect opportunity to shift that narrative a little bit.
The question really is. The question really is. And again, you could tie it to the women's NCAA final that got better ratings than the men. You could tie it to last year's World Series where baseball didn't love Diamondbacks versus Rangers.
Oh, absolutely not.
So do you, as a sports fan, do you dumb it down and say, give me the big names? Or do you really want to see the teams that are the best? Because if you want to see
You know who loved that World Series? Rangers fans and Creed. Scott Stapp benefited the most.
Big comeback for Creed because of that.
Big comeback. But you're right. That's a great example. It was a good World Series. Props to the Rangers. Rangers, Diamondbacks. MLB did not want that.
You don't think they wanted Bryce Harper? I don't know
if the MLB doesn't want the ratings.
You don't think they wanted the Dodgers? You don't think they wanted the Braves, Acuna? You don't think they wanted those names?
What? There's on the flip side, there's a lot of people sick of that. There's always going to be someone who's going to be like, I'm sick of seeing the Dodgers. Or I'm sick of seeing the Lakers. Who cares about the Lakers?
You know what the Yankees and the Braves did
Sick of the Warriors in there all the time.
in the 90s? They gave ratings to Major League Baseball. What?
By the way, Rich, hold on. I before you really dive into your point here, hey, man, rewind it 10 years ago. We were thinking the same thing about the Warriors when they started lighting it up. Who were the Warriors? You're the first guy to say that Danny Tanner was the only fan that you knew.
Wake up, San Francisco.
And then, you flip the script, and now they're a marquee team. But before they started winning, no one cared about them.
True. Big market, though. San Francisco, Bay Area. But you are correct. But as a casual or diehard fan, wherever you lie on the spectrum of fandom in the NBA, you know you're going to watch the NBA playoffs. Do you dumb it down and say, I want LeBron, I want Steph, I want KD, or do you say, well, no, if those are the bottom-feeding West teams that can't get it together, I want to watch
I do for
the
absolutely
Nuggets and
selfish reasons. Danny G's a big Lakers guy. It just makes our conversations on the air more fun. It just does. And, it's good for basketball to have LeBron and the Lakers up there doing
this
it big.
would be a good time to ask you guys then, would you miss work if you had nausea and a headache?
Anthony Davis style?
So bummed last night. The Lakers really needed him against the Warriors. I mean, when Draymond Green is hitting his first 5 3-pointers in a row, the Lakers were definitely lacking defense, especially on the perimeter last night.
There are times you see that Warriors team.
Call me old school. Rich always brings it up. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. It's your point, buddy. You're the one that says often here, because we roll our eyes at other people that are quick to call out. It's like the level of tolerance that people have when it comes to sickness and pain is just so drastically different.
You don't know, and you never know, right? Because you don't know what other people feel.
I know that sounds like you'll push through and other people cry about it.
that feels like a really deep statement. I'm not high, everyone. You don't know what other people feel.
You could be residually high from last night.
I look at
I know
this.
how this guy goes to bed every night on edibles.
Let me ask you this: when you see someone, they're like, "Yeah, I'm calling in sick today." I'm not saying be the guy that brings your flu or vid to work, but I'm saying, aren't there times
quick to do that?
Aren't there times where people call out and you're like, are they really that sick? And then there are times where you still get the job done when you're feeling sick, or like you never know the threshold of pain. If someone's like, yeah, my calf's a little sore, what they might say is enough for them to sit out. You might be like, no, I'm good to go. I'm a little banged up, but I'm good to go.
Yeah, or you'll just push through. Unfortunately for Danny's Lakers,
a little nausea, a little bellyache, a little bad.
My belly hurts.
A little bad taco on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean,
and you do got to give AD some props because he has played in most of the games this season.
Oh, no doubt.
And I think over the last couple of years, he's proved the critics wrong about his toughness and durability, because obviously the whole street clothes thing and all that, he was getting such a bad rap, and he's risen above that, but the Lakers really did need him last night.
Well, they did, because you put yourself in a position where now you're the 9 seed currently. The Lakers were probably hoping, can we sneak in that 6 seed just to avoid this whole play-in thing, get a little rest, get prepared. But now that's not going to happen, because as we stand, the Pelicans have 32 losses, the Lakers have 35, which means it's not going to happen, and there's teams in between them. But let us ask you, the Fox Sports Radio Nation, the Dan Patrick fans that we're talking to. Do you want to always see the marquee names, or do you like that fun, maybe smaller market team that's hot, that finally built a team, all their rookies, all their young players are finally gelling like Magellan? Or do you say, no, let's be honest. We want Steph. We want LeBron.
Yeah, but isn't that what you always say you love about the NFL is the parity of the NFL? Like when you're seeing it getting mixed up here in the
NFL's
NBA.
different. NFL's different, I'll tell you why. Because the
That's why I
NFL...
bring it up. Why do you think it's different?
The NFL's different because you could watch the 2 most bunk teams in the NFL and still watch. I don't think you can say the same about any other sport. I've always say the example
you can't say that about baseball. That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
NBA feels a little more borderline than baseball.
I don't know. All right. If I told you, give me 2 teams you couldn't care less about in football. But maybe if I told you Cleveland against the Titans,
you're still tuning in.
You're watching the Browns
You're
Titans.
still paying attention.
Yeah. But if I told you it was Nets Kings on a Tuesday night. Are you watching? No.